Jewe Kagame Paul ndahiriye u Rwanda ku mugaragaro
Rwanda provides us with a case where countries in post-conflict environment have to make certain choices. One, between peace and justice, and two, between development and democracy. And it seems that Rwanda chose peace instead of justice and is choosing development over democracy. And it's not exactly a contradiction. I think these are choices that are shaped by the realities of not just the African continent, but most post-conflict societies such as Rwanda.
tunezerewe kandi twishimye tugiye rero
But we cannot exactly say that Rwanda has actually declined in terms of democratic credentials. Rwanda was not a democracy to start with. It was a personal rule characterized by successive autocratic regimes, including the last regime of Juvenal Habyarimana. It was far from being a democracy. And so I think to accuse Kagame today of not exactly meeting the democratic standards expected by Rwandans, I think will be a stretch too far. However, it is reasonable, of course, to say that perhaps Rwandans may not comparatively enjoy the same, for instance, civil and political freedoms that, for instance, Kenyans enjoy. But that's also attributable to the different histories when it comes to the history of civic activism in Kenya is much higher compared to civic activism, not just in Rwanda, but actually in much of Central Africa.
Today, what we're seeing is increasingly people who are trying to peacefully campaign and mobilize, or people who are trying to draw attention to issues to do with poverty, land evictions, social issues, are being targeted. And ultimately, that will affect the Rwandan government's legacy going forwards.
Rwanda is increasingly being credited as one of the most stable, effective, predictable economies, to mention one of the least corrupt. And I think in the absence of Kagame, you cannot imagine anything better than what, for instance, you will see in the neighborhood, which is a sorry state of affairs. Now, that's not to justify autocratic tendencies sometimes that we see it being exhibited, by the administration of Paul Kagame.